Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about pasture-raised rabbits. So I've been raising meat rabbits for about a year now, and I've learned a few things along the way. I've learned that I do not like raising rabbits in cages. I started off in cages. I bought what was supposed to be 2 does and a buck. I ended up with a doe and 2 bucks. I now have a doe and 1 buck, and then I have a litter from them that I've got a couple left. I have a doe that I've saved, and the buck that is the father to that one, or to that litter, we have butchered and eaten. So I now have another doe that is not related to the male that I have. Not that that matters. With parents, it's okay, but I have all this fenced in area, and I've got goats out here, I've got pigs out here, and I use Premier One fencing, the netting fence, and I really like it. And I noticed, so I use a lot of the poultry netting. I use the poultry netting for my goats, and I've noticed that it's got little small squares at the bottom. So I thought, well, if you can raise a rabbit in a colony, why can't you pasture raise them? So that's kind of what I've done here, and I'm going to show you what I've done. I'm going to show you kind of what I've got for a setup here, what everything looks like, and I'll show you my rabbits. So what I will tell you so far, predator-wise, in this area, we have black bear, we have coyotes, we have fox, we have eagles, we have hawks, owls, we do have some falcons, but I have not had any predator problems yet, knock on wood. I'm not saying I never will. I'm just saying that currently I have not had any issues with predators. Oh, we also have raccoons. We have some skunks and possums, but I think skunks and possums would be least likely to mess with the rabbits. It would be more like the fox, the coyotes, the eagles, owls, things like that. So I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to kind of take you around and show you what I'm doing. And I'm actually having really good success. This works like a colony where they just kind of breed when they want to breed. I don't have to worry about any of that. And you know, when it's hot like this, they'll shut down. And so in the summertime, I don't really have to worry about too much. We did just have a litter, and I'm going to say this might be our last litter. Maybe there might be one more, we'll see. All right, now I'm going to show you how I'm pasture raising my rabbits. So these are New Zealand rabbits, and so I was going to have some goats in here, and it just kind of worked out that the rabbits really liked it too. So I do have a goat, and that's what you hear, my goats. I do have a goat that's going to be kidding here pretty soon. This white girl right here. You can see her big belly on her. But she's going to be kidding soon, so I'm actually going to bring her over here. And this is where she's going to be. So we've got the grass. You can see Premier One fence all the way around here. And this is all for the rabbits actually right now. And you can see these small openings. I have the fence off, so I'm not worried. But you can see these nice small openings. And the rabbits have stayed in here. I haven't had any problems with them getting out. They've got all this grass that they can eat, which they eat on. This is their little bathroom pile. They're kind of like pigs. They go to the bathroom in one area. And then again, like I said, this was set up for goats, so I've got a carport here. And we've had some severe weather, so I've actually I've had the backside closed, but normally I keep it open for ventilation when the weather's nice, and then you have a nice cross breeze. So this is my doe right here, and she's actually over at her food bowl. And she likes to sit in her food bowl and she eats. So I do supplemental feed. They do need extra feed other than what's just out here in the grass. So I feed a rabbit pellet. I also cut different twigs and sticks and branches for them every once in a while, and I bring them in here for them to chew on. So when it comes to feed, I just use these nice rubber bowls that I use for my goats and my pigs, and I just throw some feed in there, and they kind of free feed. That's my buck right behind her. And this is what their water is. Again, it's just a nice rubber bowl that they can, you know, drink as they want to drink. I, you know, usually once a day or every other day, depending on the temperature, and if it gets dirty, I'll dump it. But these two, they've lived really well together. I haven't had any problems with the male going after any litters or re-impregnating my doe right away. There hasn't been any issues with that. So all's working out well there. Again, I just have, like I said, this was set up for goats, so I've got a little feed trough in here and some, a little bin for their grain where it would be. Like I said, it's just to be set up for goats. So the one thing I did add was I added a tote right here, and I cut an opening in that tote so the mom, my doe, can go in there. And I kept it filled with hay just because of the free breeding. I didn't know when and if she was going to have a litter of little ones, so I wanted to make sure that there was at least a nice nesting spot in there for her. So if you look in here, I've got 8 little babies in here right now, and they're just kind of starting to open their eyes. She did have 11, and then we had a really bad hot spell, and I actually lost a couple, so we do have 8 as of right now. But they are, that's the one hard thing about raising meat rabbits, is these babies are just very, very cute. Here's my doe feeding. Health-wise, I haven't had any issues. I was actually really concerned about ticks. We have a tremendous amount of ticks in the area. I have not seen any ticks on them. I have not had any issues with any diarrhea, anything like that. Again, they seem very healthy, other than she's got a bit of an orange hue to her because my buck sprays her. But they have done really well. They've got this nice big shaded area to get out of the sun. And like I said, the back I usually have open for some breeze. But yeah, parasite-wise, I haven't had any issues. Health-wise, I haven't had any issues. Yeah, it's been really nice. I do free feed some hay every once in a while. I'll give them some alfalfa hay. But for the most part, they have their pellets. And then they have all this grass that they eat on. And this is raising these rabbits pretty much hands-free. When I come out here and I feed my goats or my pigs, I check on them, but they they need very, very little, just a little bit of food every day. If I'm doing yard work and there's twigs and sticks, I'll pick them up, I'll throw them in here for them to chew on. But I'm not picking up poop all the time. I don't have a mess in my around my house from their pee and their poop. I don't have hay everywhere that they've flung out of their cage. I don't have cages that I have to clean. I don't have cages where my buck is spraying urine around everything. So this has been really, really nice, and it's been actually very pleasing raising rabbits this way. The fence that I have, like I said, it's Premier 1. It's the poultry netting, and I get the I think they're 162 or 64 foot sections, something like that. That's what I buy, and they're in one section of that. Like I said, it's a tremendous amount of room. I do have one. There's one of her previous litter rabbits over here in with my goats. I keep them separated from the mother just because. And I let them grow out over here with my goats. And then I butcher on an as-needed basis. So I only butcher when we're ready to use them. I don't mass butcher or anything like that. Once they get to the age or size for butchering, we do that, and then we just use them fresh. I don't store them in the freezer or anything like that. So again, this has worked out really well. I'm sure, at some time might have an issue, I might have a problem with something, but knock on wood, they've been out here for about 4 months now, and everything has gone really, really well. I do have security cameras around my house, outdoor cameras, and I see fox, I see raccoons around all the time, and again, I have not had any problems with them getting in here. This fence is charged with electricity, so you know, there is a shock there, so it's been enough apparently to keep these guys safe. So if this is, you know, if pasture raising rabbits is something you're interested in, it obviously can be done. It's working right now. It's working very well for me. I'll keep you guys updated as we go along, but I don't suspect any problems other than, you know, maybe a flying bird here and there. But they do have spots that they can run and hide, which is really nice. I'll show you another spot. They spend a lot of time going behind this pallet and between the carport, so they can hide back there, so a flying predator like a bird or owl or anything like that can't really get in there. There's a little guy peeking right there. So yeah, this is how I'm pasture raising my New Zealand rabbits, and it's worked really well for me. If you guys have any questions or anything, I'd be happy to answer. This is just kind of what I've been doing. Like I said, I do still feed. I water them. I do give them some hay here and there, but for the most part, they're pretty self-sufficient. The other thing I've noticed, back on one other topic with the fence, is having all this room, they're actually not burrowing, and having this carport, they don't burrow at all. They're not digging. In the 4 months that they've been out here, I've kept an eye, and they haven't dug at all. So I think having more room, not being in a colony setup, like a small little pen without room for them to go, they're, you know, not digging at all. So that was one of my concerns with the fence, that they would try to burrow under it. But yeah, they have not, they've not done it. So I'm really happy. But again, if you guys have any questions on anything that I've done, or if I didn't cover something, or if I missed something, go ahead and put it down in the comments, and I'll try to answer them as they come in. So hope you guys have a good day.